I still laugh when NFL players today complain about hard hits. They should have faced Dick Butkus. One guy literally jumped into the stands trying to escape his anger. In a moment of pure meanness, he called timeout and a blowout just to hit the same player 3 more times. How did a Southside Chicago big baby become the most feared man in NFL history? Dick Butkus was Chicago to his core. Born on the South Side in 1942, he was the youngest of 8 children and weighed a massive 13 pounds 6 ounces at birth. Think about that. The guy was scary from day one. Growing up in the tough Roseland neighborhood, toughness wasn't just expected, but required. Playing at Fernwood Park as a kid, he figured out early that hitting was his favorite part of American football. The sport was perfect for his natural anger. At Chicago Vocational High School, Butkus dominated in multiple roles. The guy played fullback, linebacker, punter, and place kicker. As a linebacker, he made 70% of his team's tackles. 70%! His first varsity season, they gave up just 55 points in 8 games. Nobody scored on Butkus. The Chicago Sun-Times named him the city's Player of the Year as a junior, the first time they'd ever given that honor to someone who wasn't a senior. Despite some injuries his senior year, college recruiters were practically camping outside his house. One scout famously said, "You can teach technique, but you can't teach that kind of intensity." Butkus stayed home for college, choosing the University of Illinois, where he became a 2-time consensus All-American for the Fighting Illini. Still playing both ways, just like in high school, he led Illinois to a Rose Bowl victory in 1963 and earned MVP honors for the entire Big Ten Conference. The following year, he was named college football's Lineman of the Year. The Bears drafted him 3rd overall in 1965, bringing the hometown hero back to Chicago. But how would a kid from the South Side handle the pressure of playing for his city? Both the NFL and AFL wanted Butkus in 1965. The Bears picked him 3rd overall in the NFL draft, while the Denver Broncos selected him in the 2nd round of the AFL draft. Despite reportedly being offered more money by the Broncos, Butkus chose to sign with his hometown Bears, saying he always wanted to be a Bear. He signed a rookie contract worth about $200,000 with Chicago. With their very next pick, the Bears selected Gale Sayers, 2 NFL legends in the same draft. So with elite talent on both sides of the ball, pure football royalty, how did the Bears manage to waste such incredible talent? We'll get to that part of the story later. What made Butkus special wasn't just physical ability, but his unique approach to the game. Butkus played with controlled rage on every snap. In his autobiography, he wrote that overcoming fear meant first accepting it, then turning it into anger. This technique became his trademark. At the line of scrimmage, Butkus would growl and grunt before the snap, and it just wasn't for show. This was his way of preparing to unleash pure violence.
It was horrifying playing against him because he can intimidate literally an entire offensive team, and I mean good teams.
If he saw the other team laughing during warm-ups, Butkus convinced himself they were laughing at him. If someone smiled at the wrong time, he made it personal. He actively made up scenarios in his mind to keep his anger burning hot. His teammates said playing with Butkus was simple. Hold the runner for a second, then get out of the way. Because if you were in his path, you became a casualty too. Legend says Butkus still checks the comment section on every video. Do you really want to be the fan who lets Dick Butkus down? Show your love and memories in the comments. From the moment Butkus stepped onto an NFL field, opponents knew he was different. Even the legendary Packers coach Vince Lombardi took notice of the rookie. Jerry Kramer recalled how unusual it was for Lombardi to praise any rookie on another team, but he did exactly that with Butkus. The rare compliment made Packers veterans so curious, they studied extra film just to see what impressed their hard-to-please coach. That rookie season, Butkus immediately showed what made him special. He intercepted 5 passes and recovered 6 fumbles. The only thing that kept him from being named Rookie of the Year was his own teammate, Gale Sayers, who took home the honor. Butkus played with such intensity that his presence alone changed how opponents played. Bill Curry, a center for the Packers, said before you could even try to block Butkus, you had to overcome what he called the feeling.
Before you could begin to try to block on Dick, you had to overcome the mystique. And he didn't appreciate this, but I said it was almost like an odor.
It was almost like an odor, a presence you felt before contact. Lions rookie running back Altie Taylor learned the hard way. After the Bears lost to Detroit in 1969, Taylor told reporters that Butkus was overrated. When the teams met again at Wrigley Field, Butkus chased Taylor out of bounds during a play, causing him to jump into the stands to escape. This incident is well documented in NFL history and shows exactly what happened when players publicly disrespected the scary linebacker. Some players would avoid running inside altogether, knowing what waited in the middle. Even the great O.J. Simpson admitted Butkus was the only player who truly scared him.
He told me he was going to kick my, you know what, the first time I ever played against him, my rookie year.
How long could any human body withstand the punishment Butkus both gave and received? Despite Butkus being one of the greatest players in football, the Bears struggled during his entire career. They went 49 wins, 74 losses, and 4 ties during his 9 seasons. Only twice did they finish with a winning record, and they never made the playoffs. Remember those 2 Hall of Famers they drafted together? Yeah, somehow the Bears found a way to waste both Butkus and Sayers on the same terrible teams. The Bears' offense ranked near the bottom of the league most years, putting enormous pressure on Butkus and the defense. Owner George Halas was famous for being cheap. He wouldn't spend money to build a good team around his stars. Their quarterbacks were awful too. Guys like Jack Concannon and Bobby Douglas threw more interceptions than touchdowns. It was the perfect example of how even the greatest individual talents can overcome organizational failure. The 1969 season showed exactly what kind of player Butkus was. The Bears went a dismal 1 win and 13 losses. Yet, Butkus played every game like a championship was on the line. He was named NFL Defensive Player of the Year while on one of the worst teams in football history. This award, voted on by NFL players themselves, spoke volumes about his reputation. The following year, Sports Illustrated put him on the cover as the most feared man in the game. And a panel of NFL coaches named him the player they would most prefer to start a team with if building from scratch. In a game against the Lions, when Chicago was getting blown out and Detroit was running out the clock, with just a minute left, Butkus suddenly yelled timeout. When they lined up again, he positioned himself opposite Lions center Ed Flanagan, backed up several steps, then charged full speed and smashed into him. After the hit, Butkus jumped up and called timeout again. His teammate Doug Buffone later explained Butkus just wanted 3 more cracks at the center before the game ended. By 1970, Butkus's body started to rebel against his violent playing style. His knees, particularly his right one, began to break down. Most players would have stepped back, maybe played a little softer to extend their career. Not Butkus. If anything, he played harder. The Bears' medical staff kept treating him with painkillers and sending him back out there. They didn't allow second opinions back then. You saw the team doctor or nobody. According to Butkus, the medical reports would say he was fine, which gave the coaches the green light to keep playing him. As the pain increased with each game, a question loomed over Butkus's career. How far would the Bears push their star defender? And at what point does loyalty become using somebody? Butkus believed they knew how bad it really was, but kept him on the field anyway. I mean, why would they care? As long as number 51 was terrorizing offenses, who cares if he could barely walk on Tuesday? Eventually, Butkus had enough. After his career ended in 1973, he sued the Bears for $1.6 million. The lawsuit claimed the team's medical staff gave him injections that caused damage that couldn't be fixed to his knee, and that they forced him to play when he should have been recovering. They settled out of court for $600,000. The lawsuit damaged his relationship with George Halas. They wouldn't speak for 5 years afterward. The loyalty Butkus showed Chicago wasn't exactly returned in kind. Despite his career ending after just 9 seasons, Butkus put up amazing numbers that proved he was one of the best ever. He recorded over 1,000 tackles, snagged 22 interceptions, and recovered 27 fumbles, which was an NFL record when he retired. His dominance earned him 8 Pro Bowl selections and 5 first-team All-Pro honors. Most impressively, he was twice named Defensive Player of the Year, including in 1969 when the Bears won just 1 game and lost 13. In 1979, Butkus entered the Hall of Fame just 2 years after his draft partner Gale Sayers was inducted at age 34, making Sayers the youngest player ever enshrined in Canton. Drop a comment if you want to see a Kickoff Zone video on Gale Sayers next. Their connection came full circle in 1994 when the Bears retired both their numbers in the same ceremony. Butkus is 51 and Sayers is 40. Finally honoring the two legends whose talents Chicago couldn't fully capitalize on. They don't make them like Butkus anymore. In today's NFL, he'd probably be fined more than he was paid just for showing up to the stadium. Who was better than Butkus? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The Kickoff Zone reads every single comment you leave.